Good evening, guys. We're here with Simon Middleton and Poppy Cleal. Usual process, if that's okay. If you could just raise your hands if you'd like to ask a question, and we will get going.
Okay, guys, congrats on the win. First of all, just a few words to sum up on another ruthless performance, really.
Yeah, I think that's probably the word. I mean, we said at the end, it wasn't perfect, far from, but the effort was massive for us today, and we kept going right to the end, and that was certainly the ruthless bit. I agree with you completely. We said all week we wanted to get our training performances on the field. It was a big focus for us, and we got it in the first half, and then half time we said, we sat in that position against Scotland last week, and we were a bit more words than actions last week, and we wanted to be the other way around this week, and it was. And 5 tries first half, 7 tries second half was a pretty good return, for a great effort.
You guys got off to a pretty lightning start. Natasha Hunt was at the centre of a lot of that quick offloading game that I think you wanted, last time out against Scotland, which wasn't quite there. What did you make of her performance in particular?
She brought a great tempo, sharp as attacks, all that down the short side with McKenna. I got McKenna in at the corner for a really good start for us, but that's sort of reflective of how Sarah's trained as well all week. I thought she had a great week's training. Mo, always buzzing, always alive, a great passing game, threat on the ball. But then again, Lucy Packer came on and she fizzed around, and her passing's great. And Leanne had a really big game last week, so we got 3 scrum halves in really good form.
I know we talked about it in the week, but how pleased were you with the fact that you didn't concede any this time as well?
Yeah, again, last week, second half, our defensive effort was fantastic. We got off the line, and we, under a lot of pressure against Scotland, we defended well. And this week, we defended well high up the field, so we didn't get ourselves in a situation where we were under pressure in our 22, and we kept going, and we were ruthless, and we stayed on the front foot, and every time they offloaded the ball we picked up the next attacker. I was really pleased, and it's always great when you get no points against, clean sheet, and to be fair, we never looked like conceding today, simply because of the effort and the application and the commitment we showed to our defence.
Poppy, congrats on another win as captain. Talk to me about that time in the second half when you went down. You looked like you were going to come off, and then you sprung back into action.
I have the hats off. I think it was their number 4, Sarah Tunisi. She, I think she left her name on my knee. She definitely hit hard, and the Italians, they're strong in D. They're always flying at you and hitting you behind the gain line. So the physios came and checked it, and I was good to go and get back up again and in the action. And I'm just glad that I was okay. But yeah, she won that collision.
Just last one from me. Obviously, you've beaten Scotland and Italy quite comprehensively. You've probably got arguably your easiest 2 games out of the way. Does it get harder from here?
I think opening the Six Nations with 2 away games is pretty tricky. So to come away with the performances, we're happy with that. And then we're looking forward to our first home game at Gloucester. I think Wales, it's pretty close to Wales. I'm sure they're going to have a big crowd in there as well. But it is our home game, and it's our first one of the Six Nations, and we can't wait to have a big crowd cheering us on.
Thanks, Fee. Any further questions for... it stays on. Okay, I thought you had to hold it. My fault. Harry.
Hi, Simon. Hi, Poppy. Congratulations on the win. Simon, firstly, were you surprised at all at how uncompetitive Italy were today? That felt like the first away from you that they've been in the last couple of years, really.
To be fair, Harry, I think that's probably a bit hard on them. I wouldn't say they were uncompetitive. I mean, Poppy sat next to me, quite battered. She'd certainly suggest that they were competitive. I thought we were outstanding today, mate. I thought our physical effort was so intense that it probably made them look pretty ordinary, and and they're not. They've got some good players, got a lot of threats. They were terrific last week against France. I think it's a massive ask for them to back up 2 games, two huge games for them. France away, and then us following up is going to be tough for them. And and particularly when rotated the squad, and we had a real clear objective about the level we wanted to play, the level of intensity we wanted to play at. So I just think it's more of a reflection of how we played than Italy played, I think.
And obviously Poppy's covered off her injury, but any other bangs, bumps, bruises, or something slightly more serious that that needs attention?
No, Zoe Harrison had a bit of a twisted ankle at half time, which is why Eleanor took over the kicking duties, but nothing, all you could see, he wasn't anything that was going to impede her in terms of how she was getting around the field. There'll be a few bumps and bruises, for absolute sure. As I say, Poppy's quite battered here next to me, but we got a travel day back. We'll be really light. We got one sort of intense session this week, and then we'll be good to go again.
And Poppy, a couple of times now you've captained England. Is that something you're really looking to develop still? Because you're quite an experienced England player now, but maybe not so experienced as an England leader. You don't necessarily do it all the time at Saracens, where you've got such a strong leadership group, of course.
Yeah, I think both at Sarries and at England, there's a lot of leaders and really good ones. So that chance to step up and captain England, it's a huge honour. I said it before when I got to captain England for the first time, and again it was a bit of a surprise, but I think it's the fact I've got all the leaders around me just helps, and if it adds something, if I can add something to the team and really lead them from the front, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to give it all my all and try my best. And I've relished this opportunity and this whole week. It's been a great week, and then for the girls to go out and back up our training week and do me proud is phenomenal to be a part of, and I'm so privileged that I get the chance to go out and lead them.
Thanks all. Safe journey home.
Cheers, Harry. Thanks.
Thanks, Harry. Mike.
Hi, Simon. Hi, Poppy. Just a question for Simon, really, just in terms of narrowing sort of selections down for the final round of this tournament and for World Cup squads. I just wonder how much the two performances so far have given you kind of more headaches in a good way than answers in terms of players putting up their hands, and giving you more to think about than perhaps you thought you might have before this tournament.
Yeah, we've got plenty to think about, I can tell you that. I think we've had two really good performances, and we've built on our performances, and I think the key will be, how we rotate the squad again next week, and how we look at the players who maybe haven't had an opportunity yet, and some of the players who haven't had as much game time, and see how we go, and then we'll sit down and really assess. And I had a chat with the coaches just before we left the hotel this morning, and I said, we're going to sit here in a week's time, and we'll be discussing every player and how they've played over the course of 3 games, the game time that they've had, and now they've trained over the course of 6 weeks, because it's not just about the games. And then we'll pick the best group that we feel, and we have got players to come back into the equation as well. By the time we get to Ireland, we're expecting to have Allcroft, Bottomman, Cockayne back in the equation, and we need to get them on the field, so we got massive selection choices. It's not by accident, it's by design. We've invested a lot into building the depth of the squad, so we can have problems like this, Mike, and we can have good problems, and that's what we've got. And we'll come off the back of the Six Nations, and we'll reassess. We've got a whole summer to go. We'll have a big training squad through the summer, so the Six Nations won't rule anybody out. But what it will do, it'll give people an opportunity to play some really big games at the end of the Six Nations, and it'll give them an opportunity to put the best foot forward for ultimately a World Cup campaign.
Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers. Safe journey home.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mike. Has anyone got any further questions for Simon or Poppy?
Can I ask one more?
Yes, go on. Yeah.
Well, Simon, you made 11, I think, accounted changes for this time around. To cruise to that margin of victory that you did, you must be sitting there and feeling like an absolute king. Is that fair to say or not?
I feel hugely privileged to be able to coach such a fantastic squad of players and work with such a fantastic group of staff. That's what I feel. I also feel like having a beer to celebrate.
Can I join you?
Yeah. No, it's a short turnaround. It's, as I say, it's a lot of work's gone into building this squad, and the commitment of the players is reflected in how we train and how we play. And you can see the hunger in the players. They know exactly what's on the line at this moment in time. You know, and you know, so I just thought that the finishes that came on today, you know, how they raised the game, they bought into what their role was today. And I think the squad's really starting to understand that to get the success we want, it's going to take 23 players, and it's going to take, on any given day, and it's going to take 23 players being fully committed to whatever their role is on the day. And that's great that we're starting to understand that. And it doesn't devalue anybody if they're sat on the bench, or whether they're starting the game. It doesn't put them above anybody in the squad. You won a 23 on the game day, and you know, massive part of whether we succeed or whether we fail. And you know, we've, as I say, I can't tell you how hard this group are working. They are absolutely working to their max at the moment, day in, day out, on the field, off the field. It's what you're seeing is by design, and there's a lot, you can see there's a lot of room for improvement, but they'd be the first to say it. So, you know, we'll keep improving. We'll dust ourselves down after today, and we'll get ready to go again, and we'll do our best to be better next week, whoever we put on the field.
Thanks, guys. Really, really appreciate it. And we're also going to bring Lydia Thompson in shortly as well. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks
a lot.
everyone.